What is goody, everybody? It is full-time trip back in the building for another video. We have just finished the first game in our Europa League campaign. It is Arsenal 2, FC Zurich 1. We made the game a little bit more difficult than it should have been, honestly. I feel like in large spells of the game, we dominated play as per usual. We were looking really good, some good performances from some of the youngsters. But you know, at some point, it's just like, you know, we didn't kill off the game when we should have. There were some chances that we missed. There were some, you know, attacks that kind of went, went soft in a sense. And we really could have, we really could have dominated the game and then scored a lot more, but we just didn't. But I mean, it was a decent game overall. Decent run out for some people who are kind of on the fringes in terms of first 11. Again, some of the youngsters again getting some minutes in. It seems like Arteta really wanted to get some of the first team players in as well at the end of the game, just to kind of get him used to a certain system or something like that. Maybe get him ahead of the game. Maybe more meshed in. Interesting strategy, but again, we came with the win. 3 points to the good, top of the table. So I cannot complain. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get into the ratings real quick. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's get through this 1 to 11 in terms of this game. Starting with Matt Turner at the back. First game, first American representing, representing Arsenal in the Europa League. I would say, I would give him, I'd say, maybe like a 6.5. I give him a 6.5. I couldn't give him just a 7. He looked a little bit nervous. He looked a little bit nervous this game. I can't even front on you. Like the penalty, there's nothing he can do about that. Unfortunately, he went the wrong way. Distribution, what I'm saying? It's just, I feel like he's a little bit uncomfortable. He's getting into certain things. There's that little spell in the beginning of the game where he was in trouble, tried to get the ball out to Xhaka, but it was a bit of a mistake there. He could have just hoofed it, but he was trying to, again, I believe, stick to the philosophy of trying to continue to play out for the back and trying to beat the press. It's just stuff that he's going to get more comfortable with, but otherwise not really too many problems. He claimed things when he needed to, was communicating from what I saw. So I give him a standard 6.5. Moving down to our right back, Takahiro Tomoya. I'm going to give a 7. I feel like most of the back line isn't too far apart in terms of performances, but I think Tomoya had a good run out today. Again, had a full 90 in, looked good. Serpaz transition, defended really well. I really feel like he had a solid run out. Nothing too crazy he had to deal with. Again, we were dominating a lot of the game, so I didn't have to harp on him too much this game, which is kind of a good sign. I'm glad he got a full 19 with no too many disservices to his calf or anything like that. So yeah, bulk standard 7. Rob Holding, our captain for the game today, I'm going to give a 7 as well, but I feel like he's the lowest of the 7s outside of outside of our back line. I just felt like in some challenges he was a little bit shaky, gave some fouls away in key positions toward the end of the game. You can obviously see why he's the player that comes in the last few minutes as opposed to starting these matches ahead of Ben White, ahead of Gabriel M, ahead of Saliba. I think there's a clear, you can see why the difference is there and why he's where he's at in that sense. But again, didn't really put too much of a foot wrong. Just gave it a couple fouls here and there. Was aggressive, did help out in certain things. Just kept the ball moving. Can't ask for more than a 7. Gabriel, I'm going to give a 7 as well. Didn't really have too much to do. Again, was active in helping the build up play, helping the ball progress on the left hand side. Just moved around a little bit, got his thing going. The beginning though, I will say I'll let the 7 go, but I'll say it's a little bit dodgy. In the beginning where he was with Matt Turner and there was some trouble there. So in terms of the technical buildup, I see why people start to focus on him, start to really again lock in on him if they're going to press the back line. If he has the ball, they're going to really emphasize it because I think he's not the most secure when it comes to those type of parts of play. So hopefully he can improve that going forward. But in terms of what we're looking for, it's definitely a weak link in our back line, when he receives the ball and he's trying to be, technically sound because he has some trouble on that front. So 7 for me. And on to Tierney, I'm going to give a 7 as well. Again, you can see the difference clearly between him and Zinchenko. It's like there's not much, I'd say, variety in attack or ways you can kind of approach the ball as well beyond that. But again, I feel like he did well today. Again, attack when needed to, put some, was helpful in some attacking instances, but it wasn't too insane for me. Again, most of the back line got the ball standard 7, so I'm going to have to give him the 7 as well. Moving on to the midfield 3, I'm giving Xhaka a 7.5. Let's start there on left center mid. Xhaka, I think, was good today. He was good today, man. I feel like he's really assumed, again, more of that, the ball progressing role, being able to, again, get a little bit more forward. I feel like that's given him so much joy and a lot more joy. Some of the balls he was playing was actually really good. Like, I can't remember what through ball went unnoticed, but it was just kind of straight through, broke the lines. I think it was to Martinelli. I think nothing really came of it, but just that quality of pass that he's able to put through, to me, if you told me like a year or two ago that Xhaka would actually be, proficient, right now, and he's playing like consistently good games, not too many, mistakes are there, and he's doing this, I would have been like, what I'm saying, you're on PCP. I don't know what to tell you, but he's been doing good so far, so it's 7.5 for me. All right, next up, we got Albert Sambi Lakanga, and I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was much more confident today. Maybe it's the opposition, maybe it was a different change of setting, but you could see him actively picking up the ball. You could actually see him, calling for the ball, bringing it down so he can progress it and move things. And that's what I want to see from him in every game. Especially during this period where, we don't know if, our other midfielders are going to be back anytime soon. We're not going to be signing anybody else. He needs to have, some level of confidence and responsibility that he needs to take on and just progressing the ball, moving it through the midfield. Again, he was, slick, tidy passes were there. Not too much work to do on the defensive end, but I did see him help a lot. Dropping in between defenders to really help out in certain defensive actions. Was really good in supporting the defense today, and again in progressing the ball. And he didn't hide today. I think that was my biggest thing I wanted to see from him going forward. He didn't hide. So yeah, 100%. I'm giving him a 7, but again, much improved. Moving to our last player in the midfield, Fabio Vieira. We've been waiting for Vieira ball, man. We've been waiting for him to play, but I'm giving him a 7.5 as well. I think he was slick today, man. Again, helped out when he needed to. Him playing in that attacking role right there, and him playing in the hole and spraying passes out. You could see from that pre-assist on the first goal that Marquinhos scored. We'll get to Marquinhos in a second, but you can see how tight he is, how direct he is. Just technically just magnificent, bro. Like, I really like the look of Vieira, man. Again, he doesn't look afraid. He looks like, again, up for it, really intense, and just the technical quality is what really wows me about him, man. He seems like a player. And I can't wait to see what he does and how he continues to develop. So definitely 7.5 for me. All right, on to the front three. We'll start with Gabriel Martinelli. I think that he had a 7 today. I think he had a 7 performance today. Again, was really active on the ball, was trying to, beat a man and stuff like that, get past on the dribble. Was missing some chances here and there. He's going to score a banger one of these days, man. Listen, he's going to score a banger one of these days. I promise you. Yeah, like, one of them was gonna come off. I think there was a ball that Xhaka floated over into the box. He was trying to volley it first time, and it just went to like Rose Ed. Hit somebody in the top row trying to get a beer straight in the face. But nonetheless, he's gonna get there. But again, the same intensity, the same level of just activity that he has, he's been consistent with throughout the entire season, and that's one of the things that I ask for in some of these players. Most of them, consistency. Is can you replicate this from week to week? And he's been doing that. So for this, I can't rate him any lower than a 7. He didn't score. I don't think he assisted off the top of my head. But yeah, man, he was really good today. Still very intense, very active, and that's what we asked for. So yeah, moving on to Eddie Nketiah. Eddie, I'm going to give an 8. I'm going to give an 8 today, regardless of him conceding the penalty. We can get that out the way first. That was kind of an attacker's challenge, so to speak. Like 53 defending. My man just kind of let that one go, and the ref could interpret it however he wants. Maybe it was the opposite player milked the challenge a little bit, blah, 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 theatrics, whatever you want to call it. He conceded the penalty, so it's a little bit of points ticked off, but the work he put in today, he is so good. Eddie is so good, man. First and foremost, after the Fabio Vieira ball, just the know-how to make that run first, to see Marquinhos coming into that space after he stretched the play too, and to put in a nice ball on his weak foot 3 to make that whole first goal happen. Eddie is such a good player. Eddie is such a good player, man. And I hope he continues to develop like this and keeps making leaps and bounds and really push Jesus for that starting spot, man. Honestly, I want him to be pushing because he's a good player and he can be one of those. He could be like a Jesus type player. I feel like he is in a certain sense because when he comes on from the bench, like how Jesus came on at City, he just harasses defenders. He just makes life difficult for them. And again, with his runs, with his play, with his strength, he makes life hell for defenders. And that is what we want to see. That's what Jesus does. On a consistent basis. If we can get Nketiah firing like that and more on goal production, he's going to be ridiculous. And it's going to be hard to say no to have him in the starting 11. So I'm definitely going to give him What did I say, an 8? Yeah, I'm giving it an 8. And last but certainly not least, my man of the match today with a solid 9.0, I am giving it to Marquinhos, bro. This guy is... we about to find another Brazilian gem, baby. We about to find another Brazilian gem. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. Listen, bro. Listen. It makes no sense to me how good this guy is. It surprised me how good this guy is. I'm really sitting here thinking like, yo, bro, like, I don't know how, I wasn't too sure about him. I know I saw some of the clips from the academy game where he scored. And I was like, okay, yeah, he's looking good, but can he replicate against like, stronger opposition and a different competition? He looks so direct. He looks so quality. He's paced for days, bro. He can burn, man. He can burn, man, like ridiculously. And he's quality, man. He's very quality. One thing I think it was super underrated. Well, I think it was probably highlighted today, but I didn't notice until now. Crossing ability. His crossing ability, his placement, so good. There were several instances today where some people did score and some people, missed chances off of his crosses alone. Again, and it wasn't like he had to do all this flashy stuff and stay. If he got a little bit of space, like 5 steps, he slammed in a really good cross that probably nobody was on the end of. He is so good, man. And again, he scored the first goal, got right into space, covered the ground to get to that first goal that Nketiah provided. You could see what it meant to him. He was crying and stuff like that. I feel for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of him. And again, for the second goal, he was involved in that play as well. Assist on that. So you can see he's everywhere. That cross to Nketiah on the second goal was just, oh my gosh, that's so good. That's the type of action you want. You want something coming from nothing after he just looked up 1-2 step. Cross in, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happened so quick. I feel like the defense wasn't able to process it fully, but again, that understanding and that endeavor to make that happen, to try and pull a cross like that could be another gem of a player we have, man. But he 100% has my man of the match today. 9.0 rating. Fantastic start for Marquinhos. All right, moving through. Honestly, all the subs, I'm going to give basically a bog standard 6. They came on. I think they were actually a little bit disjointed. I would have given them a 6.5 together, but actually I'm going to give them a 6 because when it came on, I felt a little bit off the pace, man. I towards the end of the game, and speaking generally for the team, we need to kill our chances because we have these situations where the team, they get stronger, they get a little bit more emboldened, the opposition, so to speak, and we get in trouble. We get put under pressure. It's harder for us to cope, and I feel like that, against a better team, we can concede. We can fumble the bag and really mess up, 3 points that we could take away from some of these games. So I don't know if that that was just just we wanted to get our legs going and stuff like that. I know your Tory quote, but do that, or if you get used to like a 4-3-3 or whatever system that was employed. I'm not sure if it was the same or it might have changed a little bit when the substitutes came in. But everybody, I think it was just a bog standard 6, just saw it out. A little bit of trouble, but they saw it out regardless. I can chime in on the ref real quick. Nothing was crazy. I would give the ref kind of like a bog standard 5. I mean, the penalty, you could have took another look. I mean, maybe it was a little bit of a, theatrical moment. It could be perceived as that, but I mean, bog standard 5 wasn't anything that was too crazy. Let play go on when it needed to. Again, gave yellows when he needed to. I think there was a bad challenge that one of the Zurich players put on one of ours, and he came straight out with the yellow. So I think it was pretty fair. But yeah, 5. And on to the manager, I'm going to give Arteta. I'm going to give Arteta a 7 today. Again, played some of the kids. Really gave them a chance to shine. Fabio Vieira, I know it was his intention to really get him, some minutes and make him start. Let's see. Yeah, Lukonga was there. Martinelli got some more minutes. I don't know how far we can take on Martinelli before he gets a little bit tired. And Emil Smith-Rowe's not here, so I don't know what cover we have with that. Marquinhos was really good today, and Nketiah was giving him hell. Again, good stuff. The back line was on the fringes. Tommy also got a full 90, so I can't complain. I would tick points off, though, because of the ending and after he made those subs. I feel like it wasn't as... we lost even more control, and it got a little bit dicey towards the end. So I would have to tick some points off for that. But otherwise, again, all 3 points away from home. Europa League campaign's now started. Hopefully we can get some good rotation in there and not kill all the energy in our players like Saka and stuff. I don't want to run them into the ground. But yeah, 3 points. That's a win. We move. But that's all I got for this game today. Make sure y'all let me know in the comment section below what you guys made of this matchup in the first week of the Europa League. How far do you think we're going to make it? Who are some standout performances for today? Who do you think is going to really be a standout for us in the tournament? Because things might change, and there's going to be a lot of different variables coming into this. But really looking forward to hearing you guys' thoughts. Let me know what's going on. Next up, I believe we have Everton at home. Not sure if things are going to get postponed or not, but we will see. But we have Everton next regardless. And hopefully we can get 3 more points, get back on board in the Premier League, and keep pushing on at the top of the table. That is all the time we got on this video, but don't trip. See you in the next one. Peace.